Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be the first video of my project, so that's why I'm so excited. In this video we are going to talk about what is urbanization, what are the types of urbanization, and the causes and effects of urbanization. But let's talk about who I am. What am I going to do in this channel and what is this project? As I explain in my social accounts, in Instagram, which is Project of Divest, I am a high school student who lives in Istanbul. In our school, each person has to prepare a personal project related with their personal interests and previous learnings. My personal interest depends on architecture, urban planning and such these topics, so I plan to choose my topic as effects of distorted urbanization on natural resources in Istanbul actually. This is the topic of my project. According to my topic, I plan to prepare a blog page on Blogger and prepare a video from this YouTube channel. I am going to talk about urbanization, natural resources, our future, the effects of distorted urbanization. Basically, what is urbanization? What is cause and effects of distorted urbanization? Urbanization level in Istanbul and such these topics in both blog and YouTube channel. The goal of my project is to raise awareness about this topic, also to inform you about this critical situation in Istanbul. Distorted urbanization is such a big problem in Istanbul, so the main goal of my project is to raise awareness and inform you about this situation. The language of my project is English, so the videos that I prepare and upload in this channel and the blog posts are going to be English. But you can watch the videos with subtitles in Turkish language and you can also translate the whole blog post in Turkish language too. Yes, that's all about me. IBMYP personal project, high school student in Istanbul, urbanization, blah blah blah. So let's talk about the topic of this video, which is urbanization. What is urbanization? As you can see, urbanization is the increase in the proportion of people living in towns and cities because of migration, change in economy, educational opportunities. So let's talk about why the proportion of people living in towns and cities increase. An urban city has industrialization, modernization, economic change, trade and such these things, but in rural areas, in countryside, there is agriculture system. Urbanization shows the development level of the country. So I made a connection between these two by industrialization shows the development level of the city. As we can see, the countries which has the biggest development level has the biggest industrialization system too. So as a summary, urbanization is the increase in the proportion of people who lives in towns and cities. This is because of the movement from countryside to urban. The main reason of why the movement happens is economical change, modernization, industrialization, and that's it. When I looked to the level of urbanization on internet, I found a website that you can find in the references part. I saw that Belgium has the biggest level of urbanization. So let's talk about what are the causes and effects of urbanization. I write the causes of urbanization in two ways in here, which is social factors and modernization. Social factors are such as education, facilities, better quality of living. I mean that urban city has a better education level, economy, better technology, and more. So that's why these are the main causes of urbanization to happen. In another way, modernization is such important of cause of the urbanization, such as better technology, newer housing and infrastructure, hospital care. As we can see, urban city has a better technology level between countryside. These are the main causes of urbanization to happen. We can see all these things in an urban city such as Istanbul in Turkey. In an urban city we can see better economy and education level. Also we can see better housing, better social life. And also urban city is such a secure place than a countryside. Healthcare services and entertainment options are better in urban cities. So these are the basic effects of urbanization, actually good effects of urbanization, advantages. Urban cities are actually crowded cities, such as city centers, shopping centers, theaters, cinemas. Urban city has all these things and countryside. So city centers and shopping centers can show us the level of population in the urban city. As we can see, urban cities are all crowded places. Urban city has a lot of pollution such as noise and air. There are so much buildings such as skyscrapers, so that makes air pollution. So many skyscrapers, so many traffic. Also traffic is one of the biggest disadvantage of urban city too. Because of the traffic, because of the buildings, because of the crowded places, there is a noise pollution and also air pollution. So one of the biggest disadvantage is unemployment. In rural places, everyone is working with something else, such as agriculture. But in urban places, urban cities, for example in Turkey, unemployment level is so much because the need of requirement of things get bigger in urban cities, but an urban city can't manage the level of needs requirements. So that shows us the unemployment systems in urban cities. These are the basically advantages of urbanization, not distorted urbanization. These are the cause and effect table of only urbanization. We are going to talk distorted urbanization in probably next video. So let's talk about types of urbanization and a little bit history. There are 4 types of urbanization, such as physical. I'm changing it. There are not 4 types of urbanization. There are so much types of urbanization, but I am going to write only the common ones, which are physical, functional, demographic, and social urbanization. Also, distorted and proper urbanization is another subtitle for this topic. I am going to talk proper and distorted urbanization in the next video. First of all, physical urbanization. Physical urbanization shows the growth of the city plan with new architectural system. Physical urbanization shows us the growth of the city with architecture, construction, and urban city plan changes. Social urbanization shows the assimilation of free attitude and behaviors to the rural places. This affects on who lives in rural places. So yes, demographic urbanization shows us the growth of a city with a migration or something, but physical urbanization shows us the architectural growth of a city. So functional urbanization shows us that city and countryside is equal. That means that city is not better than countryside and countryside is not better than city in every topic, such as management skills and education skills. Let's talk about a little bit history of urbanization. As I mentioned in here, cities began to appear for the first time in Neolithic period. So actually urbanization starts to get bigger in Neolithic period. It was seen in the region called Fertile Crescent, in Turkish Bereketli Hilal. This place located on the southeastern of Taurus, which is Diyarbakır, Urfa, Batman cities in Turkey. For the second time, Urbanization, not urbanization, building cities began to be seen in the central Anatolia, which is Konya, Çatalhöyük, northern Iraq, in the 7000s BC. So this is the summary of the history of urbanization. It starts from Neolithic period and that goes on like that to these days. Yes, this is the end of this video. I talked about what is urbanization, what are the types of urbanization, what are the common types of urbanization, a little bit history of urbanization, main causa, main effects, advantages and disadvantages of urbanization. Also, I inform you about me, what is this project, what am I doing in this channel. So, thank you for listening me. I would be so happy if you check it out my Instagram and blog page. I am going to write the same thing that I talk about in this video in my blog page, so you can also read it in my blog page in both Turkish and English languages. I am going to also post photos related with my topic in the Instagram account, which is Project of Duvis. I would be so happy if you can check my accounts that I write in here. Showing reference is so important during this project, so I write my references that I learn some new information, such as Belgium is the biggest urban city. So you can find all these references in here. There is a table here, you can find all the websites in MLA format. So goodbye, see you in the next video again and again. Thanks for listening to me.